letting them continue to enslave us. But, I mean, I'll say this. Ron Paul was first in Congress back in the 1980s. And he got kicked out of Congress after one term and came back in the mid-90s, and I've been interviewing him ever since. So he passed it in the House. He said it's a fraud. The Senate took it over and screwed it up. So who's to say next year he can't get a real audit through? I mean, here's the German government, the Greek government, calling for criminal investigations of Goldman Sachs and U.S.-based banks. These aren't U.S.-based banks. These are globalists. I mean, here's another mainstream headline that I read earlier where they've already arrested people in Iceland. The same banker groups that were caught. Bankers jailed, sued as Iceland seeks culprits for crisis. But I think your idea should be looked at as a measure down the road, and we should have a debate about it. Let's go ahead. I mean, that's just quite a move to call for. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to, if I get up here and say don't pay your mortgage and don't pay taxes, I've got to do it. And, then I've got this operation to run, and they'll use that as a technicality to come after me. But I guess the Founding Fathers put in more than we're talking about doing militarily, so who knows. Alan in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, Alex. I like your shirt there, buddy.
Oh, you're watching this on PrisonPlanet.tv? I
surely am. I'm a member of the Austin Screenwriters Group and Austin Film Society. I just moved back here from Phoenix, and I'm a veteran of 101st Airborne. Well, my name is Alan Jones, and I'll tell you what, we're 27 years apart, but I get a lot of phone calls here in Austin, Texas. They're meant for you. But anyway, like I said, I moved here from Phoenix. My daughter's still back there. I got a suggestion for people. They can go on the internet to family.com and see what the local news is out there, which I pick up all the time because I lived up there for a couple of years.
Unbelievable crime, illegal aliens murdering people, burning buildings down, taking down American flags at post offices, running up Mexican flags. What do you think as a screenwriter of Robert Rodriguez's script? I don't know if you've seen the video where I show screenshots of the internal script, which is a race war script. I mean, I'm really worried about this new film, Machete.
Well, I spent a little bit of time over at Troublemaker Studios in the last months, but I'm not going to embellish on that. I'm against it. I think that, my sister still lives there, and she's an Anglo, and she's afraid to ride the bus. She said she feels like a pig in a lion's den, and it just, you hit the nail on the head weeks ago. It's causing a lot of disruption and a lot of panic right out there.
Well, I mean, look. There's been persecution on both sides, but no country's more open than the U.S. And this is becoming, with certain sectors, certain minorities of the Hispanics who see themselves as Mexicans, this is becoming an anti-American thing, not just an anti-white thing, to the point of Hispanic students. That was buried in the MSNBC article. We played the video here, where three of the five Hispanics in San Francisco that were kicked out of school for wearing American flag shirts, they were Hispanic. And it cut to their parents, who were Hispanic, going, look, I'm an American. I'm sick of people running around waving Mexican flags telling me I want to be an American. I mean, no matter what color you are, why wouldn't you want the Second Amendment and property rights? Why would you want to be under the corrupt system of Mexico? The country is collapsing. So as an American, I'm not looking for trouble with anybody. But, I mean, I see a film which literally makes Machete this hero god who's killing the gringos, and I don't want to get off into it. It's just, this is more racist than Birth of a Nation, which was made by the Ku Klux Klan, basically.
I agree. And then on the other side, you got Arpaio out there. Just a couple of days ago, I think on Friday, he busted a cockfighting ring in West Phoenix. 80 Mexicans, and a lot of them were illegals, and it's just stirring up the pot, Alex, and it's kind of horrifying. But,
no, it is horrifying, and I was this weekend looking at a book I'm going to read called God's Middle Finger about some areas in Mexico where it's just completely lawless and total killing and death, and just everything is totally insane. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it'd be one thing if all these illegals came here and wanted to be pro-Second Amendment and anti-New World Order. The problem is I've been to their rallies. We're communist and we're going to get the gringo, and I'm not going to sit here and shut up about this and watch Robert Rodriguez make a big-budget film with Robert De Niro, where De Niro plays a U.S. senator who's a race pimp who's going to murder all the Hispanics. And every white person is a murdering killer, burning Catholic churches, crucifying Catholic priests, desecrating things. Machete is a new saint. And then it turns out, I hadn't seen Spy Kids, that Machete Cortez, this character, is a children's hero. They made 3 films where he's the children's hero. Now it's this hardcore race war film. I mean, this is a psyop. I mean, this is crazy. This is dangerous. Anything else?
I totally agree. I lived in I was raised in Birmingham, Alabama in the '60s, so you know what I went through, and and then this name tags that they're getting now it's coconut. In the '60s it was Oreo, and it's infuriating, and it's just we don't need to throw any more flames on the fire right now. I'm so upset. I think I'm going to start smoking again.
Well, I appreciate your call. Look, I've been told by people internally now from Rodriguez, and I'm going to work. By the way, I haven't called him yet. Tell me let's start calling Rodriguez tomorrow and invite him on the show. And we have been contacted by some of the actors, and looks like we're going to probably get them on. I'm just going to leave it at that. This just fell in our lap. But, yeah, what you've got is the Hispanic Americans last weekend. Every caller was Hispanic, and they said, no, these illegals come to me if I'm flying an American flag at my house and say, take it down, Porcho, which means Uncle Tom. I mean, now the American flag is bad? I mean, look, I'll take the American flag over the tyranny of Mexico any day. I choose to be part of America. But if you study the British Empire, if you study the Roman Empire, if you read The Battle for Gaul by Julius Caesar, that was written over 2,000 years ago, how did he take over the Germans and the Gauls, who were the French, and the Britons? Of course, in England, Albion was the name of Britannia at the time. They would play tribe off against tribe and use old feuds. The UN will use the Hutus against the Tutsis, black against black. And that's all the CIA and government funds is the Ford Foundation. And Hispanic Americans that go to public school, as well as any other American, are targeted and told that the Southwest belongs to Mexico, America's bad. To the point of American school kids can't wear American flags to school. It wasn't just in California. There were Texas cases of this that made national news last week. I mean, the American flag is now evil? I've got to say, I'm sorry. I won't wear the American flag. I won't fly it. I'm evil. I'll shut up. No. No, no. America is under attack by the globalists. They're the ones that destroyed the borders. They're the ones that gave you NAFTA and GATT that really hurt the people of Mexico and the U.S. NAFTA has admittedly hurt Mexico. I want to live in peace with everybody, folks. But the system sits up on a pedestal as if they're the anti-racist. And the government's going to be the mediator and the referee of all this when they're the ones pumping it out. You saw it with people, Americans, saying, I'm against government-run socialist health care. Oh, that's code for racism. What does that have to do with racism? Nothing. They just inject it, and then as a white American, I guess you're supposed to sit there and just say, okay, I'll shut up, don't call me a racist. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done being stereotyped as a bad person who hates people. I'm done. I mean, I'm not 80 years old, folks, and most 80-year-olds I know aren't racist. I'm 36 years old, okay? I like everybody. And the good news is most people are seeing through this, but Hispanic Americans are being intimidated and told through the culture and through the big comics and the media and all these sitcom characters that are for Mecha and La Raza and all these race groups. It's being popularized to divide the American people. The globalists are in trouble if Hispanics get into the Second Amendment and private property and fight in the New World Order, because, by the way, they are. That's why they're coming in and doing this. Let me tell you something. I go to a gun show event. I go to a movie screening. I go to a speech. Doesn't matter if it's California, Texas, New York. I look out in that crowd, 30, 40, 50, 60% are Hispanic. Okay? They love the message of freedom. They've got libertad burning in their bones and in their guts. And that's got the New World Order scared. And Robert Rodriguez, by creating this new race cult string of films, Machete, knows he's going to make a bunch of money. He actually makes Machete a saint above Jesus Christ. in the film and above Mary if you're a Catholic. I mean, I got the script. I've got photo shots of it, screenshots of the key sections highlighted in the video that's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. If you want to find it, Google the term machete, racist film machete gets taxpayer funds, Texas Film Commission. And you can pull up the article that Drudge and the Washington Post and others picked up. Let's go to Dave in Seattle. I didn't mean to get off into the subject. I got other stuff to cover, but it's a really hot issue right now.